to the show, and I'm joined, I've actually come out on site with Bobby from Ultimate Tax and Advisory.
Hey,
How are you,
Michael?
Bobby?
I'm very good, Michael.
Look, Bobby, the reason I came out is because in your new role and the way you're expanding your business, you've gone past just purely tax and advisory. I'm sure a lot of business owners like myself are going, yeah, that's cool. But you've gone, hold on, we've got all this inside knowledge of how businesses operate and best practice, and how the clients you've got, how some of your clients have become industry leaders, and you can share this with other people.
Most definitely.
And I think that's one of the things. I think the first thing that comes to my mind when you first get a client and you're going through, what are the pieces? Are you looking for those consistent pieces that need to be left in place before any improvements are made or strengthened? What is your technique there?
Michael, that's exactly right. See, there's no point changing a client's business growth to grow too fast. Growing too fast has been a demise for many a business out there. So we like to go, okay, let's get our structure and our systems in place first, then look at expanding. Because if your foundations, just like a building, everyone out there, there's a building.
Yeah.
If your foundations aren't correct, what's going to happen? It's just going to crumble down, unfortunately. So it's best to take the time slow and steady and build those foundations to get optimal growth for the future.
And I suppose when you look at businesses, I mean, your experience with dealing with businesses from such a wide variety of people. I mean, you've got cafes, you've got gyms, you've got not-for-profits, you've got all these different... You must see there's these core elements that have got to be put in place before any real expansion can take place. Is that the advantage of coming to someone like yourself, that you're able to look and go, okay, these basic pieces are missing, or maybe you used to do them, guilty as charged, and you don't do them anymore?
That's exactly
I'm
right.
not talking tax returns, Bobby.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, Michael. So the beauty about coming to us as your business advisor is that not only do we know the tax side of things, we know the business growth side of things. So we can make sure that your structure is set up correctly, your tax is beneficial to maximise your tax rates and whatnot, and then that will allow us to grow your business.
When you're looking at people in business, and I suppose you're looking at those basic elements, we were talking about this before, and you were saying, you like to have a look at, okay, how they're treating new clients, how they're treating existing clients, how they're treating suppliers, make sure they get paid, and how you're treating, and you're even saying, you like to look at how they're treating employees, and not just from the monetary sides, but also the interdependency sides of everything. That must be quite complex when you're dealing with companies in that area. It must take a little bit more than just give me some numbers. Must be more consulting going on.
Consulting and in relation to the business culture. Obviously, we can't tell you what your business culture is. That's something which you have to come up with as a business ethos for yourself.
Right.
So creating that culture is imperative for future growth and just expanding and keeping your customers, suppliers, employees happy. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, in our opinion, if your employees aren't happy, you won't get customers. If you don't get customers, you won't need suppliers.
Very true. So when we're talking this topic about becoming an industry leader, these are these base elements you like to get cemented in place properly, so that people... So when business owners go, they might have been in business, it might be new, so they haven't got a culture, or they've been in business for a while and it's kind of drifted because economies change and that. So is that where you actually starting point? Let's get this correct. Let's get these strength parts put in place.
Most definitely, because if your foundation strength isn't in place, then you just won't grow.
And just for people looking, because I mean, you don't just teach people. I mean, you actually do this stuff yourself.
Yes,
I know you have consultants and you have advisors yourself that you work with, but you've got a very interesting culture for a taxation, or an accountant. I walk in, I'm going, am I in an accountant's office because you're just so different. What is your culture that you yourself and Crystal decided this is what we're going to be?
Yep. We effectively said we don't want to be like the traditional term is like every other accountant out there. No, we just don't want to. We just want to be in with the new age of technology,
Yeah.
new age of style of business. Like, we understand there are some old school factors that still need to be there.
Yeah.
However, there's a lot of new ways that those old school factors can be done.
Yeah.
Social media especially, which is unfortunately for us, or so fortunately for us, I should say,
Yeah.
we're ahead of the pack in terms of that, and we're
You're
seeing
right.
other people, other accounting firms who we know through our own previous lives,
Yeah.
following our trend.
Yeah, because of course you're actually cutting new roads, because apart from just the new YouTube channel that's coming up, and you're actually putting the TV on your website.
Yes.
You're actually going to be expanding the next few weeks into your own podcasting channel. Is that one of your, and yourself and Crystal, is that one of your fundamental beliefs, is you want to be able to educate people in the broader aspects of business?
That's effectively another reason of why we wanted to start our own business. There are too many other accountants out there who just want to take your money and leave you hanging effectively for most of the time. We're here to stick with you and
Yeah.
educate you as much as possible with all facets of business.
So, just we're going to go to break in a moment, but one thing I'm seeing from you here is you're going, okay, I get my foundations. I'm looking at your business because I think you're a great example, and you've got we are taxation specialists. You've got the bookkeeping services, so you can actually keep the two together,
Yes.
so actually talk to each other properly, and there's no confusions. And then you're building the consultancy, so you've gone, okay, we've got these base fundamentals that need. But you've gone, okay, so then this is how the pack goes, and you said yourself, but we want to drift away from the pack.
Yes.
We want to be the stand. You want to be that industry
Exactly.
leader. So that in turn, how did you manage to come up with, and how do you help businesses find that uniqueness within themselves where they can differentiate themselves from that pack?
It's effectively just finding what your niche is. I know it's not always good to have a proper niche target,
No,
but
yep.
it's good to have a passion. And if you're passionate in a certain industry, why not make that your niche as
Yes.
a part of your business anyway?
I think that's a great word. We often hear a lot of business owners, and a lot of new starts start up with massive amounts of passion. And maybe because they don't have someone that they can actually confide in. You know, I can imagine a lot of business owners, and there's a lot of CEOs and MDs in large organizations. It's like, who can I actually talk to just past the numbers?
Yes.
Because it can be lonely at the top when
Definitely.
you're leading it. So your uniqueness, passions are very interesting. Is that when you're talking to your business owners, you're saying, okay, but tell me you're passionate about this. What did you actually want to do for your clients?
Exactly right. Because why we like to ask our business owners out there, why did you get into business? Why? Because your why is the most important thing, and that's where we'll differentiate you from everyone else in the market. If you, for example, a cafe, if you've got,
Yep.
there's, for example, here in West Australia in Leederville, there's cafe on every single corner in a space of 100 metres.
I know.
So, which is great for multiple for customers, but how are you going to differentiate yourself? And coffee's not coffee, but coffee's coffee.
Well, it could, yeah. Well, it could be deemed coffee's coffee, but as you said, they've gone, no, it's not. And each are coming. So so when people come to you, and to be a standout, and that's what we're talking about, that market leader, your first element, yourself and Crystal work with them, is getting those base elements in place, the foundational stones that each business needs anyway.
Yes.
And then you start to explore, right, where's your passion, and exploit that, if that is the right terminology,
Yeah.
to
Why
start
not?
to get those incremental shifts. And you said incremental. I noticed you said, we'll come back in a minute, because you don't like this, wow, massive,
Yep.
because that can be pretty dangerous as well for some people.
Flaws can come out if you haven't done the base work.
Yeah. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with more about being an industry leader with one who definitely is becoming an industry leader, and that's Bobby and Crystal. She's just not getting on camera this week. She's too busy helping her clients. But we'll come back very shortly. Bobby with Ultimate Tax and Advisory. Hi, and welcome back to the show, and I'm with Bobby from Ultimate Tax and Advisory out in your new offices out here in, where are we, Bobby?
We're in Inglewood, Western Australia, Michael. It's too early for you.
I'm used to being, I almost told you my address, I'm used to being in the studio. But we're talking about becoming a standout in your industry. And Bobby was saying before we went to the break, he was saying about there's certain foundational stones that are applicable to every business that you help, and I suppose being a tax advisor and with the bookkeeping services, that's quite simplistic for you to
Yes.
make sure those are correct. Then we talked about passion and uniqueness and
Mm-hmm.
finding that so we can start differentiating ourselves. And it was an excellent example about the coffee shop. And
Yeah.
Bobby was saying, here in Leaderville, there's one on just about every corner, and they're all different. They all offer something different, even though the base is coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, you said coffee, and I struck, Starbucks is probably one of the famous ones.
Exactly.
And they just went, yeah, well, coffee's coffee, but is it? We'll put flavoured syrups in there. And everyone just went, cool, and we'll make it a lounge. And all of a sudden...
Make it a lounge, let's make a bit more of a relaxing atmosphere, make the lovely frappes that they do, and
Yes.
you see all the other mum and dad coffee shops out there following suit.
One thing I've noticed with a lot of the standout businesses, the ones that really make their hallmark, is their ability to connect with their audience or with their customers or with their suppliers or with
Yep.
their employees. When you're working through, what are the points you're looking for in these connection points with them?
So what we like to do is go, who's your target customer?
Yeah,
'Cause if you don't have customers, you don't have a business.
true.
So
You've got a hobby.
Yeah, you've got a hobby, exactly. So the customers is who you need to identify in yourselves
Yeah.
with your business culture and your niche,
Yep.
who you want to target, which
Right.
is a very extensive exercise because you may want to portray your services to the masses, but masses won't come. You have to do your small little
Yeah.
niche first and target market, and
Yeah.
then you can expand going forward from there.
And I suppose when you're looking at these connection points, one of the exercises, and we're talking about this, and you go, okay, so how do you connect? And we were talking about this, and I'm going to use you as an example because you're a prime example. So apart from
Thank
just
you.
having a website, you're going, well, we'll have a YouTube channel because people like to watch. Then we'll make sure our Facebook, and you're upgrading the Facebook. And then you've gone, let's do podcasting.
Yeah.
So you're finding all these channels in which, probably lack of a better, it makes it easy for people to connect
Yes.
with you.
Definitely. So how it's worked for us is we've started with our Facebook page, our website, Instagram page as well.
Yep.
So it's all stock standard. Then we've gone, okay, how do we reach more people? Let's start our own YouTube channel,
Yeah.
which will be linked on our website in the coming weeks.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Very exciting. And then, okay, so not everyone can watch YouTube. However, when people are driving in their car, they go, radio may seem to be a little bit boring sometimes. Let's pop on a podcast. Oh,
Yeah.
what's this new Ultimate Knowledge podcast coming out?
Yes.
So it's just something that we'd like to just help more people out. And like we were saying earlier, Michael, educate more people.
And I think that connection points of what you're looking for. And I know as you're expanding and you're going to bring employees, so part of your culture then in this connection is how do we connect with our employees and how do we make them feel part of the company? Is this
Yes.
one of the exercises you like when your customers in to go, guys, we want to strengthen your business because your employees will drive your business.
Exactly. Michael, I don't know if you saw our recent Facebook post. However, Richard Branson is an amazing man. So one of his main ethos is train your staff and educate them so much as they can get a job anywhere else in the world.
Wow.
However, treat them as if they don't want to go anywhere else in the world. That's why he's got long-standing staff for 30 plus years in his business for Virgin Airlines and Virgin brand in itself. So
Yeah.
that's it. You want to make your staff feel as if they're a part of the business.
And there's a few other companies you're reminding me now. I remember when Bill Gates, in a very long ago interview, I think he said something like one of the proudest moments for Bill Gates was that when his receptionist made her first $1 million from the stock that she owned in Microsoft. And I'm going, that's got to be so cool.
That is, I didn't know that. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Good luck to her, for sure.
But the Googles of this world and all these standout businesses, they've all got these really strong connections, not just with their customers, but they're building these connections with their staff. I went down the iTunes, the Genius Bar.
Yes.
You couldn't get those staff
No.
out of that place if you tried. Money wouldn't get them out.
No, exactly right. It's about creating that culture, the love for the business. Obviously, Steve Jobs created a massive love for Apple.
Yes.
and the brands that they've come about with in terms of, the Genius Bar.
Yeah.
And treat the staff as if they don't want to leave.
So we've got this connection. I can see a bit of a quandary coming up, and you obviously deal with it each day.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got these connections going on. But then you've got, okay, these are standard things to do, but then every customer and every employee is unique. How do we start to take that into account and put this into our little mix?
Well, that's why it pays to come and have a third person to come and view your business.
Yes.
Because you can be day in, day out running your business operations and just have what I like to call a closed-minded view. So just having that third person out there, for example, us as your strategic advisors, come out and just have a look to see how things are going from a customer or a supplier's point of view.
Yeah.
So how are you actually operating your business? You may think you're A1,
Yeah.
but you may not be there yet, and just be, okay, here are a few tweaks which we can do to manage things a little bit better.
Yeah, and I guess we were talking off air about family-owned businesses, and your family-owned business.
We definitely are.
We're a family-owned business, but it gets that stage where mum, dad, and they're going to hand over to kids.
Yes.
And all these things have to be taught to this up-and-coming generation, along with the fact that it is a family that just happens to be in business with each other. And I know this is one of the areas where you like to explore it.
Yep.
Is that why you sometimes find when you're inside something, I don't know about people watching, but you're inside, you just can't see because you're in it?
Yes.
But it's much easier, like I can give other people plenty of advice because I can see,
Yeah.
and plenty of times I go, I wish I had their business.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're probably saying the same back.
100%.
So is that why having a strategic advisor is so important to get through these transitions and these growth periods?
Definitely, Michael. Now, I've actually got a great story for you. We've got a client of ours whose family owns a shop fitting business.
Oh,
So now this shop fitting business, the dad was actually nearing retirement, and the two sons, the two brothers, were looking at buying into it. And the dad was just so old school, and then just kept things, this is okay for us, we'll just keep going as we are. And when he retired, and the sons didn't get inherited, they bought the business from the father, changed things to a more of a new age technique. The business went from just staggering along to skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And what actually happened was the father have gone, why didn't I do that? And all it took was these two brothers to get some third person advice, just look outside the square and have a third person view. Obviously they're working in the business, but they're going, okay, we're going to buy this business or inherit it. How can we manage things a little bit better? And they've already done that pre-dad's retirement.
Wow.
And the dad's kicking himself because he's gone, geez, they're making a whole lot more money than I ever did.
sold it far too cheap. I should have put a clause in there.
Exactly.
So I suppose that's one of the biggest takeaways from that, if you really are looking for business strength and to be that standout. Everyone that I've looked at, the Richard Bransons have still got advisors. Warren Buffett came out not long ago and said, hey, I've got an advisor as well. And everyone's going, really?
Yes.
And so they've all got these mentors or these strategic advisors. It just seems to be the hallmark of every standout business.
It definitely is, because you can't win a war on your own.
True.
You have to have a massive team or an army, but we like to call it a team, not an army. So I like to call it a team to kick goals with you.
Fantastic. Kicking goals, we're going to take a little break, and then we'll come back with Bobby from Ultimate Tax and Advisory and kick a few more goals, give a bit of a summary on this and some little key points that you can implement today in your business. We'll be right back. And welcome back, and I'm with Bobby at Ultimate Tax and Advisory Services. Popped out to your offices here in Inglewood.
Thanks for coming out, Michael.
It's amazing. We're talking about being a standout business and how you actually differentiate yourself in the market. And some people, we've gone through a bit of what some might term a tough bit of economy here at the moment in WA.
It's not the best at this stage.
And we say that, and then you took your business from the bedroom and the spare bedroom into the boardroom, into your own office space.
Exactly.
In times when everyone's going, oh, you can't grow a business at the moment. It's just
Michael, it's something that falls on deaf ears with ourselves. If people complain about, I can't grow my business because the economy's bad, because of this, because of that, change something. Change something. What are you doing that's different to other people, or are you just doing the same as everyone else, and that's why people are closing their doors?
But I notice your clients are growing.
They are.
And it's because you go change something. And in these areas, if you've only just tuned in, go back and watch the other bit or listen to it if on the podcast. But we had a look at connection. We had a look at where all your connection points are and what might need tweaking there. And we said, okay, you've got your connections with people. We had the uniqueness in there. You talked about consistencies in there. And then you talked about having varieties in there, how you can vary things just slightly and keep true to yourself. One of the things I find when people engage, and people like yourself with strategic advisors, and you've got, so Bobby has his own as well that advises him, because we said it's very hard to look inside when you're inside.
Exactly.
Is this area that you hear it talked about growth? And you tend to look at growth in all areas, not just in monetary growth, which I would expect from an accountant, but you kind of then go, but how you're growing personally, how your staff growing, how you're helping your customers grow.
Yes.
And it's like, hold on, I'm just a tax advisor, and you're going, no.
We're trying to change the norm of accountants out there, everyone. When you traditionally go see a business advisor, they simply look at your money and look at the figures for the past 12 months.
Yes.
That can tell us something, in my opinion, or it does tell us something. It tells us how you've gone in the past 12 months. It doesn't give you an indicator of how you're going to go in the next 12 months or next 24 months.
True.
That's where strategic advisors like myself look at, who are qualified accountants and tax agents as well. So we look at your past numbers to see where you are at this current stage in life. To see where you can grow. What can the numbers on this piece of paper today mean for 12 months later on down the track?
And then when you get into strategic advice, when you start talking on the person themselves and this growing them and how to grow their employees and how to, when you talk this way, do you tend to get a little bit of pushback, or is it a little bit of like, I wasn't expecting this from my accountant?
We do get some clients that do get a pushback, exactly how you said, because they don't expect us to talk about mindset. They don't expect us to talk about strategic growth in terms of a tax point of view. Because they come in here, let's get our business tax done. No. Well, how are you personally? What are your issues in your personal life, and how's that affecting your business and your business growth? There's too many times where we unfortunately see too many people bring personal issues into their business, which hinders, which is, as a business owner, you are the business. We do understand that. However, how can you mitigate the two to go, okay, let's focus on growing the business and focus on our personal lives as well?
And you said an interesting thing then. We hear it quite often in business. Mindset. We're going through a bit of a tough time, but you're growing in the tough time. We're growing. Your clients are growing. So is it mindset? Is it just a choice? Is it, you said, well, you tell me that there's a tough economy. That just falls on deaf ears. I mean, I just don't listen to that. It's like, oh, okay.
Michael, I had a friend tell me, a long friend of mine, and we've been friends for about 20 years now, so since high school. And he said to me, Bobby, you're always so positive. And I said to him, mate, why be negative? What's the purpose of putting negativity in your mind frame? And because that's not going to help me personally. It's not going to help me with my friends. It's not going to help me with my family, my love life. And it's certainly not going to help me with my business.
No,
so
that's true.
I wake up every day with a positive attitude, positive mindset, and ready to, as we signed off on the last one, ready to kick goals every day.
Absolutely. So do you really believe that when business owners come and you're the strategic advisor, that is part of your role, is to reset their mind? If their mindset isn't quite right, you try to help them reset their mindset so they can move forward?
We do. Michael, as you know, we deal with a lot of startup businesses and people within the 1 to 3 year range. That's what we've seen, a lot of people come to us for that. And in that crucial stage of starting up and your infancy stage of business, the right mindset is imperative. Because if you wake up on a negative attitude every day, your procrastination comes on board, and you just, okay, I'll do that later on. It's not that urgent at the moment, or something like that.
Yeah.
And we just try to go, okay, you won't get to X point if you're in this mindset. So we like to almost reverse engineer.
Yeah.
In a monetary point of view, where do you want to be in 12 months' time, sales growth-wise, and how are you going to get there? You're not going to get there with a negative attitude or in a procrastinative state.
When you're talking like that, I mean, a lot of people, when we relate to growth, not just for the business owner, but for the staff that are in them, and they talk about, well, we've got to spend some money and go on a training program, or spend some money on an advisor. For taking away just where it would actually fall in a natural accounting line, is this really an expense for the business owner, or is this more of an investment?
You hit the nail on the head. It's an investment.
Yeah.
It's an expense, yes, cash flow wise. Cool, you're spending $1,000, $2,000 on a training seminar or self-development seminar. However, it's an investment for you to put that $2,000, reinvest that to make $100,000.
That's an interesting way. Typical accountant. I want a return.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about cash economy.
Cash economy. So as well as doing the personal growth and and you're looking at investing in the person, and we talk, you great example from Richard Branson. He invests so much money in training his staff.
Yes.
And you're saying he trains them to such a level that they absolutely love their job. They're so good at it, but they could get a job anywhere else in the world.
Right. But they don't. They stay with Virgin.
So for a business owner out there that says, yeah, but if I spend this money, I train him in this, he might leave me.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that if you've got the right culture and you do all the things, they probably don't actually want to leave you.
Exactly. So this is where it all ties together. Getting the right team. Of course, if you've got to spend time to get the right team in place, you may have a few hit and misses, but that's a part of life and that's a part of business. And all you have to do is, okay, yes, we've now found the right team. I don't want to lose them.
Yeah.
How can I make them stay? So reinvest in their training, give them a good, you've already made your culture in the business, but re-evaluate your culture onto your employees on a daily basis, not a weekly basis, not a weekly Friday night drinks or monthly meeting or something like that. Daily basis.
Daily basis. Yeah, because sometimes you do hear of, the boss is always cranky, never smiles, and then he invited around to his place for a barbecue, and it was somebody totally different that turned up laughing and smiling. And you're saying, no, bring that into the workplace, be you.
Exactly, and that's what we talked about earlier about making sure your personal mindset and your business mindset are all in sync and heading toward the same goal and right path.
Same goal, right path.